Right. Hey, good morning, folks. Afternoon. Good night. Hi. It's Monday in the afternoon. We're going to work on the Bastion campaign. We've gone through the different facilities. Now we're going to start in revising the downtime activities, Bastion benefits, and orders that can be issued to hirelings in the facilities. So give me a second here while I check my signal and make sure everything's coming through clear. We're going to do a quick social media bump, and then we'll get to work today, and I'll share the document with you guys to take a look. We'll get to work today. So give me a second here. Sounds like my voice is coming through clear, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop that volume down to get it out of the way there. Grab this link here so that we can update our social media. Allow me to entertain you with my origin story as I go through the process of pressing a bunch of buttons here real quick, and it goes like this. Hey folks, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online, and I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999. I've been creating content on the DMsGuild since 2018, and when Wizards of the Coast updated the 5e rules to the 2024 set, they included in the DMG the Bastion rules, which is a way to give characters a hideout, base of operations, business, something, a place to call their home for them to do stuff during downtime. But it's a narrative system. It's the social pillar of adventure where there's no real die rolls necessary to see if you succeed or fail anything. It's your Bastion, and what you want to do there you can do. But there's a very limited list of things that you can do there. So it's got a very limited scope. It's kind of a callback to the old Dominion system in BECME, BX. First edition, where you'd attract hirelings when you gained a certain level, and you just naturally start to influence the environment and geopolitics around you. But most of those elements have been stripped out, and what has remained is a place for your character to take downtime activities and to have some inconsequential hirelings become NPCs that your players can kind of narrate. Lowbrow, down low, I really think the Bastion system was included in 5e24 as a means of selling microtransactions for their Unreal Engine virtual tabletop, because it certainly looked like it was made for you to build rooms and then put stuff in those rooms with things purchased through microtransactions. Obviously, Sigil went belly up, but the Bastion campaign was published in the DMG, so it remains. Our current project here is to add the risk-reward system back into Dominion gameplay using the 5e game engine framed inside the Bastion system, because it's a good idea. It's just that it was executed in the social pillar, so there's no actions to take. It's just narrative, and the players get some free stuff for doing it, I guess. So we're adding a lot of mechanical depth to the system, making it more of a skill challenge exploration pillar, and failures in tasks lead to adventure hooks for the characters to succeed. So I've got my social media posts done here, so let me go ahead and fix my screen and say, if you think this stuff is cool today, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications, and when we're live in the future. I stream artwork in the morning for the books that I publish Monday through Friday in the morning. Here's a bunch of books that we've already published. I've done all the artwork for, as well as all the game design and playtesting. They all have a 100% free preview. Check them out if you think they're cool. Today's document, the Bastion campaign, is in this playtest document here. It is a read-only document, and because this is a very rough format, and we're still ideating with it to make it work well. But in the end, when it is completed, when the draft is completed and we send it off to an editor to chew on and spit back to us to speak good, we'll go through the process of building artwork for it like we do in the mornings, Monday through Fridays here, and it will eventually be one of the books that we publish. Discord channels here, my Patreon here has content for you guys to check out. You can support me there. X Twitter feed, obviously, and the full playlist of all 58 episodes of developing the Bastion campaign, plus the 30 command system for the army system, are all in this playlist here. And I'm going to extract this here and drop it down, and then take this and extract this as a separate window so that we can operate freely with that. And then over here, Bastion. Get the Bastion campaigns over here. So what we're going to do is, the past few sessions that we had been here, we had revised and updated all of the facilities, like 34 facilities that are in here. And so we went over the properties. Facilities facilities provide 3 benefits, and the 3 types of benefits are facility benefits, which are the facilities provide a unique benefit to the Bastion or to creatures that are using the facility. And then there's downtime activities, which is the facility provides a unique benefit to characters that spend a Bastion turn in that facility. And then there's orders that can be issued. The facility provides the means for hirelings to carry out issued orders. So these are 3 types of orders. Like, I could have 3 facility benefits, or I could have like 2 orders and 1 downtime activity, or I could have like 3 orders, but there's only 3 things that each facility can do of 1 or more of these categories. So we went through and we rebuilt and balanced all of the different facilities, and with them it helps build a frame of reference of how we can build additional facilities in the future if your game needs something that isn't quite covered by these facilities. We'll provide you with the tools to create your own. And it's pretty evident how that works just by looking at the facilities, but we're going to spell it out later on. So give me a second here. I'm going to drop down here to the end after workshop. It says, let's go with creating your own, creating new facilities. This is going to be creating new facilities. Each facility provides 3 benefits. Let's see, the rank, the prerequisite rank of a facility is generally determined by the lowest effective level feature, ability, or spell the facility provides. For example, if a facility duplicates the effects of a 6th level spell, this facility would likely have a prerequisite of rank 3, which generally duplicates effects of characters level 9 to 12. 6th level spells are available to full casters starting at 11th level. Still work in progress. That's all the notes I really want to put about here for now. But this is going to be, after we do all the facilities, we're going to have creating new facilities, and we'll provide those guidelines. So let's look at actual facility benefits. Let's see. let's see. Let's go to yeah, facility properties. Bastion facilities have 3 types of properties. There you go. Facility properties. As mentioned above, facilities have 1 or more of 3 types of properties. Facility benefits, downtime activities, and orders, and Bastion orders. Benefits provide bonuses and unique options to a Bastion with this facility. Period. Characters gain unique properties or abilities after spending a Bastion turn there. This is horrible language. This is what we're using for now. Bastion orders. Bastions, you can issue orders to Bastions that you can, let's see, facilities. Bastions can take actions on behalf of characters when issued orders through facilities. Again, that's horrible language, but that's how it's starting. So, facility benefits. What I want to do is I'm going to, I think, open up a Word document here. And we're going to go down to the facilities, and we're going to go to each Bastion facility that offers a benefit. We're going to grab a copy of that to see what those benefits are. We've done similar analyses in the past, but I want to just take the time to go through to see what those benefits are, to verify the common language and a pattern of benefit that are provided by each of these facilities for us to be able to reframe the conversation, to make sure that we're providing accurate information and that the concepts are sound. Copy, pop. I gotta say, there's more benefits provided than I think probably anything else. I spec. God, there's 34 facilities and like we have like a lot of them. This is apparently what needs to be done. I do not disparage this process at all. Orders. Man, I had to go out in the sun today, and it is hot here in Seattle today. It's like 80 degrees. I was not ready for that. It wiped me the hell out. I am dragging. I almost just didn't show up. I am tired. But this is an evening that I get to spend to focus on upcoming projects. So I didn't want to skip the opportunity, regardless of how fucking tired I am now. So I want to get at least done with at least hopefully get through downtime activities today before I just completely burn out. But by God, there is a lot of benefits. Maybe we'll find some things are mislabeled. Observatory, planar gate. Seriously, man. Like every one of them has facility benefits. Sanctum. Benefits are like passive things that are always active that don't require any particular order or downtime activity to do. Although I suspect, like the Scriptorum ability, I suspect the Scriptorum is going to end up being a different, like a unique order, not a benefit, but we'll see. Spy network. Almost there. Stay on target. Again, we're transferring, we're duplicating all of these into a separate document so we can dissect the information there more easily by having all of the extra information cleaved away, so we can isolate the benefits to make sure that they're doing what we need them to do. And like in the instance of the Scriptorum, it might be mislabeled as a benefit when it should actually be a downtime activity or possibly an issued order. Copy. Paste. Everything has facility benefits. Like the trophy room has nothing but facility benefits. So outrageous. Copy. Paste. Workshop has no facility benefits. Okay, great. So let's look at facility benefits. Various facilities provide benefits to the Bastion and the hirelings within as detailed below. There is a basic benefit that many different facilities provide to the Bastion described below, and there are unique benefits that are described separately in each facility description above. Basic benefit: extra Bastion dice. Many facilities provide the benefit of rolling an extra Bastion die when making a Bastion test. When rolling an extra Bastion die during a Bastion test, when rolling extra Bastion dice during Bastion tests, only the highest number rolled on the Bastion die is added to the D20 plus Bastion rank to determine the result of the Bastion test. The extra Bastion die is determined by the rank of the facility providing it. As listed, facility rank, Bastion die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1d4, 1d6, 1d8, 1d10, 1d12. And again, this Bastion structure is reflecting the increases to a character's proficiency bonuses at level 1, 5, 9, 13, and 17. There's 5 proficiency bonuses gained over the course of the character's career from level 1 to 20. Similarly, a Bastion increases in rank as well. And as a Bastion increases rank, so too can it increase the rank of facilities that are installed inside of it. So the rank of a facility cannot exceed the rank of the Bastion in which the facility is installed. And so, but it doesn't have to be. It costs a Bastion point for each rank for each facility. So as you accumulate Bastion points, you spend them to install and improve facilities inside your Bastion to perform different tasks for you. So if I had a 4th rank facility and if I had a 4th rank Bastion with a 2nd rank facility in it, it's D20 plus the Bastion rank, in this case a 4, so it'd be D20 plus 4. And then the Bastion die replaces the proficiency modifiers that characters gain. So instead of getting a +2 bonus to your proficiency, you would get a plus D4. Instead of a +3 proficiency bonus at 5th level, it'd be a D6. +4 is D8, +5 is D10, and at 17th level, +6, it becomes a D12. In the DMG 2014 variant rule, this was called proficiency dice. And if you're familiar with Renegade Games, the Essence 20 system that oversees Power Rangers, Transformers, My Little Pony, and G.I. Joe, you'll recognize that proficiency dice are rampant throughout the game. Shifting my seat around to relax, get comfortable. I did a lot of walking around today in very hot weather, and it has sunstroked me just a little bit. I've been hydrating like hell since I got home. That's why I'm a little late to being online. So if I have a 2nd rank facility, it would be I would roll a like for example, if I have a workshop, if I have a 4th rank Bastion with a 4th rank workshop in it, when I issue an order to the workshop to make something for me, the Bastion test to succeed, I would roll D20 plus 4 plus D10, and whatever that result is, that's what I would measure against the difficulty of succeeding at the task. Like maybe I wanted to make a siege weapon, like a ballista. A ballista is an uncommon item. It has a DC of 15. So between the D20, D10, and plus 4, as long as I get a 15 or higher, I will have succeeded in making a ballista this week in my workshop. There you go. If I have a facility benefit that allows me to roll more than one die, let's say with that workshop I get a D10, and let's say I had a facility that allowed me to roll an extra Bastion die, like an armory, for instance. I think, let's go find one real quick here. Hold on. Guild Hall. I think Guild Hall's probably got stuff for us. Guild Hall, facility benefit. When issuing a basic craft order, like to craft a siege weapon, to create a non-magical item, you can roll additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. So if my workshop is 4th rank, that's a D10. If my Guild Hall is 3rd rank, that's a D8. So I'd roll my D20 plus my plus 4 because I'm a 4th rank Bastion. D10 for my workshop, D8 for my Guild Hall, and whichever result is higher between that D10 and D8, whichever one rolls higher, like say I roll a 3 on the D10 and a 6 on the D8, I would keep the 6 and get rid of the 3 because the 6 is higher. So I'd have 6 plus 4, that's 10, plus whatever the result of the D20 was. If I'm making a ballista, in this case, I'd only have to roll a 5 or higher on my D20, and I will have successfully made that ballista. You can pick it up at the end of the week. So that's how the system works. So that's the basic benefit. And when multiple facilities each offer an extra Bastion die that applies to a Bastion test, all extra dice are rolled, adding only the highest result. Adding only the highest result rolled. Discarding the unused dice. When issuing the same order more than once per Bastion turn, all Bastion dice... And I'm going to get rid of that rule. I don't think we need to have that because that makes things too complicated. For example, a 4th rank Bastion issues a research order, rolls... for example, a 4th rank Bastion... issuing the order to a 4th rank facility, rolls d20 plus 4 plus d10. If the Bastion has both an archive and trophy room, they each provide the benefit of rolling an extra Bastion die. When using the research order, if the archive is 1st rank, the extra die is d4. If the trophy room is 2nd rank, the extra die is d6. A 4th rank Bastion with a first issuing an order to research to a facility, issuing a 4th rank Bastion, issuing the research order to a 4th rank facility with a 1st rank archive and 2nd rank trophy room, rolls 1d20 plus 4 plus d10, d6, and d4, adding the highest result between the 3 Bastion dice. If the Bastion issues a 2nd research order, we're going to get rid of that because that just overcomplicates things. Bam. Yeah, there you go. But doesn't seem to have any unique... Oh, that's right, because it says up here... there is a basic benefit that many different facilities provide to the Bastion described below, and there are unique benefits that are described separately in each facility description above. So let's see if that remains true. So our basic benefit is extra Bastion dice. So let's go through all of our facilities that offer additional benefits. Basic facility benefits. When issuing a basic research order to any facility, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of the facility. When issuing a basic craft order to create non-magical items, when issuing a basic craft order to any facility, you can roll an additional Bastion die. Do I need to use the language to any facility? No, because the order, the description of orders below will specify that that you have to issue the order to a facility. When issuing a basic craft order to create non-magical items, period. So I'm going to go up to archive and fix that real quick because that language, that verbiage is a variant. Archive. Let's see, when issuing a basic craft order. Is it always to create non-magical items? Issuing a basic research order. When issuing a basic trade order to obtain materials or non-magical items, that's specific. Issue a basic research order. Basic trade order. It's a basic trade orders are universal. Unique orders are specific to that facility. When issuing a basic research order, you can roll an additional Bastion die. Do I need to say specifically that it's a basic research order? How about just when issuing a research order? How about we just simplify that? When issuing an order, when issuing a craft order. Why we don't have to bother with unique, or maybe we specifically want facilities so we're more successful with unique benefits. Nothing in here is currently supporting unique benefits or unique orders, so we need to scrap that. When issuing a trade order, siege order, let's see, when issuing a maintain order, yeah, that makes this more universal. Issuing a maintain order, a basic trade order just becomes a trade order. Issuing a harvest order to acquire materials, that's consistent language. Issuing a trade order to acquire materials or possibly magical items. You can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. Issuing a harvest order, getting rid of the word basic. Craft order, when issuing a craft order to create non-magical items. When issuing an empower order to create a magic item. When issuing a harvest order to acquire animal materials. When issuing a maintain order to determine the lifestyle of your Bastion. Pub. Where else do we maintain order? Gaming Hall, when issuing a maintain order to determine lifestyle. When issuing a maintain order, looking for another maintain order. Maintain order, power word, looking for a maintain order to determine lifestyle. That's number 2. When issuing an empower order. Issuing a harvest order to acquire materials. When defending your Bastion. When issuing an order to sabotage. When issuing a harvest order to acquire materials. When issuing a craft order to create non-magical items. I don't think there's any craft order that doesn't create non-magical items. When issuing the recruit order. A recruit order to acquire new allies. When issuing a maintain order to determine the lifestyle. When issuing an empower order. We'll have to see if there's any other kind of order other than empower to create items. Issuing a recruit order to recruit monsters. And issuing a research order to gain information. Issuing a trade order to acquire non or magical items. When issuing an order to attack. When issuing a research order. Learn information about neighboring bastions. I'm curious about this empower order. That does have me wondering. Okay, next thing I need to do is, since I've quick audited this list here, I can now transpose that and pick it up. Let's see. Craft order. Research order. This is just any research order. You can roll an additional Bastion die. Craft order. Get rid of that. Armory. When defending a Bastion from attack, you can roll an additional. When issuing the defend order, to protect the Bastion from attack, you can roll an additional Bastion die. When you issue the defend order, need defend order. Copy. Auction house. When issuing a trade order, maybe maintain order should be a defense. When issuing a maintain order to defend the Bastion, to defend when issuing a defend order to the Bastion, issuing a defend order timer. Yeah, need defend order. When issuing a defend order, good. Auction house. When issuing a trade order to obtain materials. When issuing the defend order, when issuing a Defend order when issuing a siege, an attack order. To an army. Yeah, let's just simplify that. When issuing an attack order, so now we need defend order, need attack order. What's next? Trade order to obtain materials. Attack order. Yeah, keeping it simple. Crypt doesn't apply. Demiplane doesn't apply. Gaming hall. What is this? Yeah, gaming hall. When issuing a maintain order, there we go. Get rid of that. Issuing a trade order, government, a harvest order, government, when issuing a trade order, when issuing a harvest order, just keeps things simple. Issuing a harvest order. Good. Guild Hall. When issuing a craft order. When issuing an empower order to create a magical item. Craft order to create non-magical items. Harvest order to acquire materials. Downtime activity confirmed. Meditation chamber. When issuing an empower order, create a magical item. Good to go. Issuing a harvest order, menagerie. Issuing a harvest order to acquire animal materials. That's good to go. Unique facility benefit. That's fine. Unique facility benefit. That's fine. Facility benefit. Pub. When issuing a maintain order to determine the lifestyle of your bastion. That seems to be consistent. I don't know if there's any other use. Any use of maintain other than lifestyle? Pub. And then sacristy. Sanctum. Issuing a power order. When issuing an empower order, to create a magic item, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. Sanctum. Any use of empower other than any use of issuing empower order other than creating magic items. Question mark. Any use of issuing the maintain order any use of issuing the empower order other than creating magic items. Question mark. Sanctum. Down to Sanctum. This is Smithy. When issuing a harvest order to acquire mineral materials. Smithy, that's good. When issuing the defend order, you can roll an additional Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility. When issuing the attack order, where was it? Barracks. When issuing a defend order to protect the Bastion from attack. Issuing an attack order to target a rival Bastion or settlement. I like that language. Are those basic facility benefits though? Not 100% sure. If that's what I would call them. Barracks. Spy network. When issuing an attack. Hey Steve, how you doing? So that's barracks, and then we have. I don't think the armory benefits. Yeah, armory. Thank you. Armory. When issuing a defend order to protect the Bastion from attack, to protect the Bastion from attack, you can roll an additional Bastion die. Copy. And the spy network. When issuing the defend order to protect the Bastion from attack. When issuing the attack order to sabotage a rival Bastion or settlement. Copy. Period. I think the war room will be next. When issuing the attack order to sabotage a rival Bastion or settlement. So this is sabotage as opposed to attack. To siege. There we go. When issuing the attack order to sabotage a rival Bastion or settlement, as opposed to when issuing the attack order to siege a rival Bastion or settlement. Siege. Protect. So defend is defend, defend is defend, defend is defend. Attack is either sabotage or siege. Barracks. When issuing an attack order to siege a rival Bastion or settlement. Arranging my seat. There we go. This is probably this is probably reading more as like a study hall session than anything else. Theater. Spy network. We got to the spy network. That's right. Issuing an order to sabotage. Right, sabotage versus siege. Probably a lot of muttering to myself today. Not a lot of conversation. We all know that mornings is when conversations can flow more naturally. This is more focused effort. Scriptorum, settlement, smithy, spy. Stables. When issuing a harvest order. Good. Sabotage, that's good. What? To create a magic item. Is that what we have now? When issuing an empower order to create a magic item. Very good. Okay, Sanctum can go. Unique facility benefit. Your Bastion has a number of spell glyphs inscribed within its borders. The number of glyphs that can be active at once is equal to the... Yeah. That is a unique order. That is a unique benefit, so we can get rid of that. Check. Issuing a harvest order to acquire minerals, materials. Okay, now we're back on track. Storehouse. Issuing a craft order to create non-magical items. Issuing a basic harvest order to acquire. When issuing a harvest order to acquire any type of materials. That resolves those benefits. When issuing a recruit order to acquire new allies, sidekicks, or specialists. Let's go with teleportation circle. Issuing recruit order for allies, sidekicks, and specialists. Recruit order for troops. Troops are allies. Theater, when issuing a basic maintain order to determine the lifestyle, maintain seems to always refer to determining a lifestyle. When issuing an order, and attack order to sabotage a rival bastion. There we go. Attack order to sabotage a rival bastion. There we go. Yeah, okay. Theater. Issuing a maintain order when issuing an attack order. Theater attack order. Like that. When. Very good. When issuing a when issuing a recruit order to acquire troops, right. Training area when issuing an empower order. To create magic items. And empower order to create magic items. Issuing a recruit order to acquire monsters, specialists, or sidekicks. When issuing a recruit order to acquire allies, specialists, and sidekicks. When issuing a research order. I said thank you. When issuing a research order to gain information about creatures or items, okay. When issuing a trade order to acquire non or magical items, you can re-roll. Trophy room. Copy, otherwise we wipe. We go up here. We go to teleport to theater. That's not how I want to do this. Like that. And then we have a separate block here. Zrook bop. Trophy room has the same quirkedness to it. Trophy room, teleportation circle has questions about recruiting allies. Do we refer to troops as allies, or we just because I've just been referring to them as troops? So we'll probably want to swap that to specialists, to psychics, specialists, to troops. I think that's what we're going to need to do. War room when issuing we're issuing an attack order to siege when issuing a research order to learn information. Attack order to siege. When issuing an attack order to siege. When issuing a research order. That one is resolved, but War Room is not for the attack order. So let's cut that loose. Spy Network, Theater, and War Room. So how does this stuff stack up? Okay, so War Room, attack at siege, at sabotage, at sab, at siege, and then defend. Attack order is siege. And then we have theater. Order to sabotage. Issuing order theater when issuing the attack order, right? Right. When issuing an attack order to sabotage a rival. Thank you. Theater. Spy Network. Spy Network is when issuing a defend order or when the attack order is sabotage. Barracks. Barracks is when issuing a defend order, protect the Bastion. So that's going to be here. And when issuing the attack order to sabotage. No, Barracks. When issuing an attack order to siege a rival Bastion. Barracks. And then, what else you got? Armory. When issuing a defend order. Armory. Two sabotage, two siege, and three defend. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, okay. So that means we need to 100% we need to define defend order, need to define attack order, recruit order. This is all good. I don't need to keep any of that business. Cool, we're simplifying things. Issuing recruit order. Attack, research. Let's see. Theater. Attack order should come before maintain. Stables, issuing spy network. There you go. And issuing defend, we should put attack first. Gate, pub, barracks, player gate, observatory, menagerie, meditation chamber, library, laboratory, guild hall, greenhouse, government, garden, gaming hall, demi plane, crypt. Where are you at? Auction house. Nope. Armory. When issuing a defend order. Okay, that's in order. Arcane study. Okay, cool. These are all in order. So I'll need to define the defend order. Need to define the attack order. Any use of issuing the maintain order. Is there a use? Is there a use of issuing the maintain order? Is there a use of issuing power order other than creating magic items? And then we have, so these are the questions that are getting stirred up. Recruit and recruit. What are the different types of recruits? Is it because I had monsters, sidekicks, and specialists for a moment, but you don't actually take a monster with you. If you have a monster, it's either going to be a specialist or a sidekick. Generally, it's going to be a sidekick. So I think sidekick, specialist, and troops is probably the right language there. But we're not quite there to determine that. We need to make sure we have defend and attack orders locked in. And then we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 facilities with unique facility benefits. So again, looking at facility benefits, basic benefits, extra dice, extra Bastion dice. So all of these things that have been issuing extra Bastion dice, many facilities provide the benefit of rolling an extra Bastion die when issuing an order. When issuing an order, provides the benefit of rolling an extra Bastion die. Rolling an extra Bastion die with the Bastion test when issuing an order. There we go. That's the proper language there. Rolling an extra Bastion die during a Bastion test when issuing an order. Many facilities provide the benefit of rolling an extra Bastion die during a Bastion test when issuing an order. When rolling extra Bastion dice, during a Bastion test, comma, only the highest number rolled on the Bastion dice, highest number rolled among the Bastion dice is added to determine the result of the Bastion test. Thank you. Okay, cool. So basic is done, and then it says inside here that facility benefits. There is a basic benefit, which I'm going to bold, that many different facilities provide to the Bastion described. Various facilities provide benefits to the Bastions and the hirelings within as detailed below. To the Bastion and the hirelings to the characters and hirelings to the characters and hirelings within. There's a basic benefit that many different facilities provide to the Bastion. There is a basic benefit that many facilities provide, which modify Bastion tests as detailed below. Some facilities provide unique benefits. Some facilities provide unique benefits that are described separately in each facility description above, period. Like we might end up putting these in front of the actual descriptions. Not 100% sure yet on the order there. But let's just take a second look at each of the benefits that are provided. Crypt. Crypt is the first one we have on our list that remains, so Crypt. Crypt. Once per day, the Crypt can target a body with divine magic, granting the benefits of any spell listed up to the rank of the facility. Once per day, the Crypt can target a body with divine magic, granting it the benefit of a Speak with Dead spell. A body can be targeted by the facility with this spell once per Bastion turn. Alright, I'm good with it. So Crypt is good. Then we have Demi-Plane. Demi-Plane is just a bunch of facility benefits. The Demi-Plane can provide space for facilities without requiring space within the Bastion. Can provide space to install facilities without requiring space within the Bastion. Without requiring additional space within the Bastion, period. Each Bastion point spent to improve this facility increases the size of the Demi-Plane. You can create multiple Demi-Planes, each increasing in size separately. When a facility can craft non-magical items... Okay, great. So, number of points, that's the room size, number of squares. When a facility can craft non-magical items, any facility... when a facility that can craft non-magical items or empower magical items, if the facility is inside the Demi-Plane, reduce the time required if a facility located inside a Demi-Plane can craft non-magical items or empower magical items. If a facility located inside a Demi-Plane can craft non-magical items or empower magical items, reduce the time required to create the item by 1 degree as listed on the table below. Any facilities that grant additional Bastion die when making a Bastion check must also be inside a Demi-Plane to benefit a Bastion check made inside. Any facilities that grant additional Bastion dice when making a Bastion check must also be inside a Demi-Plane to add the additional dice to the Bastion check issued to the Bastion check Any facilities that grant additional Bastion dice when making an ability check must also be inside the enemy plane to add the additional dice. Any facility that grants additional dice when making a Bastion check must also be inside a enemy plane to add those dice, to add those additional dice. To benefit from the reduced time. Provided by the demiplane. Period. There we go. When a character can spend downtime activity to gain a benefit, if the facility is inside a demiplane, reduce the time required to gain the benefit to 1 day. So that's the demiplane. Demiplane is now resolved. Government. Let's look at the government. Let's see what the unique abilities for the government is. Unique facility benefit. You can govern bastions and settlements of a rank up to this facility, up to the rank of this, up to the rank of this facility as detailed in the governing bastions and settlements section below. I'm good with that. Now let's look at observatory. Observatory, that's where I want to be. I fell asleep again. This facility can cast the Scry spell once per day. If the target is a creature familiar to the Bastion, they don't need to be on the same plane of existence. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefit of an arcane charm. Research can issue a research order. This facility can cast the Scry spell once per day. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. There's an argument that like you can cast Scry a number of times equal to the rank of the facility, because it can scale from rank 1 to 5. That's not a bad idea. You could also, but you could. Normally, you can only issue one order to a. There you go. That's the solution. If the target is a creature familiar to the Bastion, they don't need to be on the same plane of existence. Period. This benefit can be used more often by expending a Bastion point with each additional use. So you can get on a chain of scrying stuff by blowing through a bunch of Bastion points if you have a bunch of Bastion points built up, which is a good reason for you to have a bunch of Bastion points built up without using them. If you want to be a divination facility, then having the observatory being able to repeatedly cast Scry makes sense. Like the Azorius Senate has the precognition centers, which is literally using precognition to predict crimes that are happening, just like Minority Report. Having a Scry facility with a whole bunch of diviners at crystal balls, just basically sweeping the city through observatory ornithopters, just makes what would happen is you'd be familiar with an ornithopter, so then you would scry the location of the ornithopter, and the ornithopter will show you all the things that are happening around it. So in reality, an Azorius Senate precog center is both them using foresight and spell effects like that to be able to, like augury and contact other plane to be able to predict things like this, but they also have a hangar bay full of all these different ornithopters. So at the beginning of a shift, they distribute all the ornithopters throughout the region that they're supposed to oversee. And while you're maintaining concentration on the scry effect, you're focusing on Ornithopter 13. Then you zoom in on, then you see what is happening around Ornithopter 13, and it is off running around, basically running a sweep pattern looking for options. So that's how that works. That's the narrative there. So yeah, being able to use this additional times by expending Bastion points. Again, having a huge, like you have, there's 34 facilities, and each facility can be promoted 5 times. So each facility can eat 5 Bastion points each, and there's 34 facilities. So that's 170 Bastion points that you could potentially blow, filling out every single facility inside your Bastion. And chances are that's not necessary. When we get into settlements and franchising, you'll see it's smart to set up a hub as a governing bastion to then oversee the operations of other bastions that have specialized facilities, like the Azorius Senate as a bastion, a universal bastion. It has precognition centers, it has data centers, it has courthouses, it has government houses, it has barracks, it has its own research and archive facilities. So like it's got like a good 6 or 7 different aspects going on inside of what the Bastion system can do, but only so many of them are actually relevant. Like the Azorius Senate isn't really necessarily concerned about theater. Although you could, although if you were building unique facilities, you could have like a Senate Hall. And the Senate Hall could be a combination of government and theater, where people are putting, are discussing their cases and proposing new laws and measuring the merits of blah, blah, blah. But we don't have a Senate Hall specifically built in here because that's very niche. But if we were to, say, create a Bastions of Ravnica campaign setting, then like we could go through all 10 guilds and pick out like 6 or 7 specific facilities for each of those guilds to use alongside this generic list of Bastion facilities. Then we could have specialized Bastion facilities. Actually, Eric Tachek is a designer on the DMsGuild who actually helped me with the early stages of this system back before Bastions existed in 2024, and then he went on to duplicate the Bastion features in the DMG using that style to create what we already know as Bastions of Ravnica. So I'm actually very interested in once his book publishes in hooking back up with Eric and working with him to then take all those facilities that he created for all the guilds and rebuild them so that they use this Bastion campaign so that you can take all those facilities and build them differently. So that's on my list of things that I'm interested in doing, assuming that he's interested in playing with me. Planar Gate, that's the last one we have to worry about. Unique facility. This facility can cast the Gate spell once per day. It's a 9th level spell, so I don't feel like exceeding that limit. Just like the teleportation circle has, I think that has a unique benefit of being able to cast teleport circle once per day. You know, when issuing, unique facility benefit. This facility can cast the teleport spell once per day, and you can roll an additional Bastion event each Bastion turn. Yeah. So Planar Gate, also good to go. Cool. Okay, great. So that's really simplified our list. Now we're just down to looking at issuing recruit orders and issuing recruit orders to verify allies, specialists, or sidekicks. Recruiting. Is it only specialists? Should it be hiring sidekicks, specialists, troops. Question mark. And then need to define defend order and need to define attack order. Okay, so far this is really reasonable. And that takes care of the facility benefits. So, hey, we did it. We took care of benefits. It's only 7 o'clock. I've still got some energy in me, so now we can go tackle downtime activities. We're going to go through the same process with downtime activities. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this information out. And we're going to kick down to the bottom of the document to where we've been rebuilding the combat system. There. Questions needing answers. Whoop. Save. Okay, before we get into, so we'll do the same thing. We're going to go through all the benefit. We're going to go through all the facilities, and we're going to pick out all of the downtime activities, and we're going to look for recurring patterns in those to make sure that the language is clean for all of them. Obviously, this is kind of a study hall environment. I'm going to grab some water. So if anyone has any questions, this is the perfect time to ask because I'm going to be between tasks. I'm going to go grab some water real quick. When I come back and sit down, if we have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'm just going to get into the downtime activities and see how far we get. So I'll be right back. Oh man, what a day. What a day, what a day. All right. If you have any questions, anyone that's checking this in the replay, you can either ask in the comments, or I would recommend join my Discord server. It doesn't cost anything to be there, and we're always looking for more volunteers to playtest content. Again, my Discord channel is here. Here's a bunch of books that I've already created that are on the DMsGuild. They all have 100% free preview, just like this Bastion campaign playtest has. And once we actually build and finalize all the language for stuff and rebuild the book, that will also be on the DMsGuild with 100% free preview. Yeah, so I would recommend join my Discord server so you could actually get into a conversation with me in real time and ask as many questions as you want. If this is something that you're interested in potentially implementing in your own campaign, whether it's 5e, Shadow Dark, or whatever, it works across the board. It's designed to be an independent D20 system. It's inspired by D&D, obviously inspired by the Bastion system in the 2024 DMsGuild, DM Dungeon Master's Guide. So, because of licensing and contracting and stuff, it belongs on the DMsGuild, regardless of how independent of an idea it is. Honestly, in my own personal philosophy, when D&D inspires something, I specifically design it to use D&D content and publish on the DMsGuild. I am very much a proponent of Pan to Caesar what is Caesar's. That gives me the self-reflect. That gives me the self-confidence and reassurance that when I do design things that are independent of D&D and put them on ttrpg or on my Patreon or whatever, that I'm in the right to do things independently because I'm so generous with the ideas that I put on the DMsGuild. So that's just a personal philosophy thing. You could strip out all the language from D&D and probably make this as something generic on the ttrpg, but that's not how I pay homage. So with that, having said that, let's get into phase 2. So now we're working on unique downtime activities. So first thing we're going to do We're going to go through and we're going to find all of the facilities that provide downtime activities at all. So right off the tap, we have the Arcane Study provides downtime activities. So let's copy that. Drop that in here, and we're just going to look for downtime activities. There we go. Downtime activity, gaming hall. Copy. And we'll get rid of the facilities because we don't care. Looking for more downtime activity. Here we go. Government, downtime activity. Downtime activities are things that your character specifically does. Like you specifically spend a Bastion turn at the Bastion, not adventuring, so that you gain a benefit that your character can use when they go adventuring. So it's like prep work, you know? Let's look at the government facilities again real quick. Hold on. You can govern bastions and settlements of a rank up to... You can govern a number of bastions and settlements equal to the rank of this facility. No, you know what? I don't feel like I need to break it up that way. As long as you have a government, you can. So the way that governmenting, we haven't gotten to it yet, but we will. But the way that governing works is that you take bastion points. And then you take bastion points from a bastion with a government, and then you use those points and you put them in other bastions or settlements. So you're basically investing your bastion points into other bastions and settlements or armies to create those entities that you can now dictate orders to. So as long as you are the governing body that controls that settlement, bastion, or army, you can issue orders to it based on the rank of that entity that you are governing. But there's technically no limit to the number of different bastions and entities that you can govern, as long as you keep putting points into them. It's when those entities acquire more points on their own beyond what the government has provided that they could become independent and break free and then become a rival or an ally, but not necessarily follow your orders. They become independent. Water is so good when you're thirsty. Gaming hall, government, downtime activities. Let's keep going. Library, downtime activity. Here we go. Meditation downtime activities. Okay, here we go. Again, right now we're just grabbing them all so that we can compare them, just like we did with the facility benefits. Menagerie. Observatory has a downtime benefit as well. And then, any more? There we go. Reliquary, downtime activity. Sanctuary downtime activity. Thank you very much. Sanctum has downtime activities. Thank you very much. paste. We'll get rid of the basic benefit. We don't care about that. Scriptorum. Nope. Nope. And nope. And nope. And yes. Stables. Downtime activity. Copy paste. Get rid of the benefits. Don't need those. Downtime activities. Good. Teleportation doesn't provide any downtime. Unique downtime activities. There we go. With the theater. Copy. Paste. Do not need the facility benefits. Just need unique downtime activities. There it is. Put those. I don't think I need to have unique downtime. Do I need to have unique downtime activities as a language there? Because they're all unique, aren't they? Theater. We'll see. We'll see. I suspect. Training area has downtime activity as well. Copy, paste. Paste. Let's get rid of the facility benefits. Next thing we'll do is we're going to read how downtime activities work. And then we'll be able to reference the selection that we've pulled to verify how accurate we're depicting it. Okay, great. So that's all the benefit. That's all the facilities. So how many downtime activities do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of them. Not bad. I am so outrageously thirsty from walking today. It's like 85 degrees out. It's way too warm for having to walk to the doctor's office. Hold on real quick. I'm going to grab some more water. Really just need to rehydrate. All right. Let's keep at it. Fix my chair. Got my perch. All right. So we have our selection of downtime activities. There's 13 unique downtime activities. All right. So we have our selection of downtime activities. There's 13 unique downtime activities. Theater is the only one that says unique downtime activities. Yep, okay. Hey, thank you, Timely Timer. It's just downtime activity. Okay, cool. So now let's go. So here's our list. Here's the back of the bus. Here we go. Whew, all right. Orders. Downtime activities. Let's see. Various facilities offer downtime activities that characters can participate in at the facility as detailed below. A character can participate in one downtime activity per Bastion turn, whether they are on an adventure or not. A character that does not go on an adventure can participate in 2 downtime activities per Bastion turn. A character must either begin or end the Bastion turn at the Bastion to benefit from these activities unless described otherwise, or they must spend the entire Bastion turn at the facility to benefit. A character must either begin or end the Bastion turn at the Bastion to benefit from these activities. Okay, let's reword that. Character can participate in 1 downtime activity per Bastion turn, whether they're on an adventure or not, as long as they either begin or end the Bastion turn at within the facility where they can perform the activity. Period. That's horrible language to the T. Period. A character that does not go on an adventure can participate in 2 downtime activities per Bastion turn. A character that does not go on an adventure can participate in 2 downtime activities per Bastion turn if the character remains within the Bastion for the entire Bastion turn, period. As long as they either begin or end the Bastion turn within the Bastion, period. Basic downtime. Some facilities offer similar downtime activities detailed below. If a character can participate in one of these activities, the facility description above provides any additional details. Some facilities offer similar downtime activities detailed below. If a character can participate in one of these activities, the facility description above provides any additional details. Do-it-yourself projects. As a downtime activity, instead of issuing an order to a Bastion, you do it yourself using the facilities. You make an ability check with proficiency. Adding Bastion dice is appropriate instead of issuing an order or making a Bastion test. The result of your character's ability check determines whether the activity is successful or if a complication occurs. If a downtime activity is an order with a duration exceeding the Bastion turn, you must continue using downtime to sustain the order. If you choose to end the activity, the Bastion must be issued an order and make a new Bastion test to continue without you. If you choose to end, if you choose to end participating in the activity, the Bastion must issue an order and make a new Bastion test to continue without you. There you go. Issue an order and make a new Bastion test to continue without you. Maintaining must begin and end Bastion turn. Review of documentation. Consulting, you must remain in the Bastion. If research is performed through connecting with current living sources or viewing location, must begin and end your Bastion turn at... I don't think that's necessary. I don't think I need any of this language. Okay, so... types of downtime activity. We know there is. Yeah, DIY project just seems to meet the do-it-yourself. Do it yourself projects. That's one. And then we have empowering, and there's downtime dice. What else do we have listed here? Do it yourself, downtime dice, magical charms, and then unique activities. Unique downtime activities provide new effects and benefits for characters that are not replicated by other basic orders. The specifics are detailed in the facility description above. For example, an observatory. How do we word that? Let's see. We should call that overseeing orders, not do it yourself. Overseeing orders, empowering characters, and then gaining downtime dice. It seems to be the three things that just exist. Let's check our list and see if there's other type of, like, if there's a downtime activity that happens that doesn't fall into one of these categories. So, okay, let's proceed. Downtime activity, arcane preparation. A character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility can study the arcane arts to swap a prepared spell for a new one on your spell list, or add a new wizard spell to a wizard's spellbook. At the end of a Bastion turn, make an Intelligence Arcana check to change one of your prepared spells or add it to your wizard's spell list. The level of the spell and the corresponding DC is determined by the rank of the facility as listed below. Rank 1 facility, you can swap preparation or add to your spellbook a spell of level cantrip or 1. Difficulty is 10. At a second rank facility, you can swap or add or scribe, I guess, a spell of second or third level, DC 15. Third rank, fourth or fifth to 20. Fourth, sixth, and seventh to 25. And then fifth rank, eighth or ninth level spell with a difficulty of 30. That is a unique downtime activity. I'll give you that. Yeah, that doesn't fall into the normal research parameters. This is different from that. Like if you were to craft, if you were to craft a spell, like if you were to empower a spell scroll with a spell, like at the scriptorum, that's not the same as researching magic to add a whole new spell to your spell book, or add or to swap a spell, a prepared spell, like if you're a sorcerer, for instance. So this is an increased level of verisimilitude added to the character specifically that isn't directly related to an order. Arcane preparation, a character that spends a Bastion turn can study the arcane arts to swap a prepared spell for a new one on your spell list, or add a new spell to a wizard's spell book. At the end of the Bastion turn, make an Intelligence Arcana check to change one of your prepared spells or add it to a wizard's spell list. You can choose to issue an order to the arcane study. You can issue a research order to this facility to add Bastion dice to your ability check. That actually feels useful. That's good. Okay, cool. So arcane study, that's okay, and that's falling underneath that's kind of a do-it-yourself project. It's not necessarily overseeing orders, but kind of follows. Like if you decide to issue the order, this adds to it. You automatically, if you're using your downtime, that acts as an order. So no, we don't need to do that. You can choose to issue. Yeah, we'll just add that language in. Let's see, Arcane's character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility can study the arcane arts to swap a prepared spell for a new one. Make an intelligence arcana check. Change one of your prepared spells or add it to your wizard's spell book. And add a Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility to the D20 test result. There. Sloppy language, but it'll work. I'm going to actually just grab that. Arcane Study. There. Pretty good. Okay, Arcane Study. That one's good to go. Gaming Hall. Downtime activity. How about Good Fortune? Fortune's Favor. A character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility is inspired with good fortune. Comma. Gaining a number of Bastion dice equal. What is it? Gaining a number of Bastion dice equal to the rank of this facility to spend during your next adventure. Yeah, that's good. So that's your downtime dice. We call it Fortune's Favor. Gaming Hall. So far, that's downtime dice. This is do it yourself. Well, it's not really do it yourself. It's kind of a space in between. Government downtime activity. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains advantage on all charisma checks with residents of a Bastion or settlement that this Bastion governs. Spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains advantage on all charisma checks with residents of a Bastion or settlement that this Bastion governs for a number of Bastion turns equal to the rank of this facility. There we are. Now we have a time limit. We needed one of those. That's going to be under government. That's advantage. Downtime activity. Arcane preparation. Fortune's favor. We need to give it a snazzy title. How about... Downtime, gaming house. Thank you. Downtime activity, Fortune's favor. Government. Downtime activity. What do we want to call this? How about oh, there we go. Political influence equals. I like that. That's a good title. Political influence. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains advantage on all charisma checks with residents and hirelings. With hirelings and residents. With hirelings and residents of a bastion or settlement within a bastion or settlement that this bastion governs for a number of bastion turns equal to the rank of this facility. So you would think if it's your bastion and if it's a subsidiary or franchise of your bastion, that they would automatically be favorable for you. And if it's a bastion that they're hirelings, then the answer is yeah, they are. You don't even have to make an influence check. They're just going to do what you want. However, if it's a settlement that we're talking about, settlements are interesting because you can have bastions that you don't control inside of that settlement. So like if Waterdeep, if the Council of Waterdeep is the characters that are controlling the government facility of the Waterdeep Bastion, where'd I go? Thank you. When they established Waterdeep, they basically opened up that settlement, the land in that settlement, for any number of NPCs that they don't directly control to establish their bastions within the city limits of Waterdeep as a collective protection. These facilities these bastions that aren't directly under the control of the Waterdeep government pay a tax. And it's 1 bastion point per rank of bastion within the city. So Waterdeep gets a shit ton of bastion points from all these different facilities, but they have to spend all these points on a military activity and maintaining lifestyles for the different branches of government. It's going to take all those points and it's going to disperse them to different bastions at lower tiers, like a local barracks, like a city guard barrack might require 6 bastion points because it's got 6 dudes in there that are acting as a city watch for that block. So that block requires 6 bastion points, and there's 200 blocks in Waterdeep. That's 1,200 bastion points that are being allocated just to bastions, just to Waterdeep security, for instance. One of many, many, many instances. There's no limit to how far down the rabbit hole you can go with building bastions and sub-franchises of bastions and political ties to, like, how much are these people paying taxes versus how much are they supposed to pay in taxes? Are they paying too much in taxes as a bribe? Do they have a sabotage effort going on that's expending bastion points to attack different organizations that are actually inside of Waterdeep in a covert operation? There's a lot of ways to be able to burn bastion points when you have them stacked up like that. You always say government is power, and that's represented in the system by the bastion government facility having so many bastion points coming into it to then reallocate elsewhere. Those bastion points are worth literally millions of gold pieces that are tied up into the economy just to make the whole operation run. It's wealth but it's not. It's crystallized in these Bastion points. It's not just liquid that you can just make use of. It has to be allocated, which means flow through the proper channels to have those Bastion points allocated to the proper location to have the effect that you want, as opposed to just gold buying your way through stuff. So happy with the government change consider resident to settlement that the government number of Bastion. Equal to the there we go. Good, and then gaming hall, fortune's favor. What's the next one? Library. A character that spends, a character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefit of a Legend Lore charm. What do we want to call that? I don't want to just call it research. What would that be? How about independent study? Oh, how about deep lore? I'm okay with that. That is unique activity. Using this facility. Activity using this facility to research a specific topic. Oh no, gains a Legend Lore charm. No, that's fine. Not deep lore. How about how about something with sage? Sage knowledge. There we go. Sage knowledge. Perfect. The Legend Lore charm is basically a free use of the Legend Lore spell. You can just cast it at some point, and for whatever subject matter that you want, whenever it is. Hence the title Sage Lore, Sage Knowledge. That's a sage is somebody who is well learned in a category, or as a generalist that knows a little bit of everything. And Legend Lore is specifically limited to things of like myth and legend. So like it has to be like the hand of Vecna, not just like that guy's severed hand isn't good enough. But if it's the hand of Vecna, that would be notable. That would have enough renown for you to use a Legend Lore spell on it. Hence the charm spell, the Legend Lore charm works. Normally Legend Lore is like a 6th level spell, but it's also a ritual. So I mean it's pretty easy to cast, but since it's a ritual, it doesn't really require any specific spell casting, and a charm doesn't even require spell casting as a class feature. So even a 1st level fighter that acquires the Legend Lore charm could cast Legend Lore as a ritual or an action to be able to just, if this is a famous or legendary or mythic item, your Sage Knowledge, in this instance, your Sage Knowledge downtime activity will give you that Legend Lore spell that you can cast to get the results of what Legend Lore spell is regarding the target of attention. Meditation Chamber. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefits of a divine charm. Charm. Gotta say, we're seeing charm show up a lot. Empowering characters. Gaining downtime dice. Overseeing orders. I'm not going to say anything about it yet. Menagerie. Menagerie. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains resistance to one type of damage appropriate to the creature in the menagerie. The type of damage that you can gain resistance to this way, appropriate to the creature, that doesn't seem necessary. However, the Menagerie does have... Where is Menagerie? You can issue a basic... You can issue a recruit order. Yeah, basic recruit order to convince a local creature to aid the operation of your Bastion to act as a sidekick during adventures as detailed in the issuing basic orders section below. So what this is going to do is going to set a CR by the rank up to CR1, up to CR1, up to CR4, up to CR8, CR1, CR5, CR9, CR13, and then 14 plus from here. So a Magman, what is the CR of a Magman? Offhand, by the way. So a Magman, what is the CR? Why couldn't I get a secure connection? That was weird. Let's look up Magman? Magman? No, it's Magman. Yeah, Magman. Magman is CR what? CR 1/2. So a first rank facility could recruit a Magman. Let's see. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains resistance to one type of damage appropriate to the creatures to one of the creatures recruited through this facility. Period. It's called a menagerie, but it's really just an exotic animals sort of thing. Well, it can be sentient creatures too. The type of damage that can be, period. For example, a rank 1 menagerie that has recruited a Magman has recruited a Magman. For example, a rank 1 menagerie that has recruited a Magman. If a rank 1 menagerie has recruited a Magman, you can spend a Bastion turn of downtime activity with the Magman, gaining fire resistance at the end of the turn. This resistance remains for a number of Bastion turns equal to the rank of this facility, period. For example, if a rank 1 menagerie has recruited a Magman, you can spend a Bastion turn of downtime activity with the Magman, gaining fire resistance at the end of the turn. That will remain active for 1 Bastion turn. Resistance to one of the damage types appropriate to one of the creatures recruited. Recruited here. Period. That's not the proper language, but we're going to use it. This resistance remains for a number of Bastion turns equal to the rank of this facility. For example, if a rank 1 menagerie has recruited a Magman, you can spend a Bastion turn of downtime activity with the training with the Magman. With the Magman gaining fire resistance at the end of the turn, that will remain active for 1 Bastion turn. Period. There we go. Okay, great. Menagerie. Feels good. So let's swap out that language. What do we want to call this? Menagerie. Period. What do we want to call this? Resistance training. Love it. What happened with that meditation chamber? We'll call this divine contemplation. Resistance training. And this one is, what did we just call that? Divine contemplation. The library here is sage knowledge. What was this called? Political influence? Fortune's favor. Arcane preparation. This is all jiving. Divine contemplation. Menagerie's resistance training. And then what's next? Observatory. Let's see. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefits of an arcane charm. Let's see. It's an observatory, so let's go with astrological insight. Astrological inspiration. How about that? Charm can be any spell. Divine contemplation. Let's say. Let's see. How about maybe arcane omens, maybe, or how about okay, astrological arcana. There we go. That's good enough. Astrological arcana. That's good enough. And then the reliquary. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefit of an arcane, divine, or druidic charm. Reliquary. It's like making objects. It's all three of them: Arcana, Divine, and Druidic. What do I want to call this one? What do I want to call this one? Downtime activities. A character that spends Bastion turn here. It was Divine Contemplation, Astrological Arcana. Equals Divine Contemplation, Sage Knowledge, Political Influence, Fortune's Favor, Arcane Preparation, a relic. Something charm, maybe. Something charm. I don't want to use contemplation again. God, what's a good word for this? I don't want to use contemplation again. Gains the benefits of an arcane, divine, or druidic charm. I mean, charms is obviously one of the benefits at this point, right? Gaining downtime, empowering characters, gaining a magic charm. That's kind of under the umbrella of empowering characters. Abilities, properties. And charms. Thank you, Timely Timer. God, what? I'm still looking for a charm name here. Reliquary. Let's go on a mission. Define reliquary. Reliquary, container for holy relics. Reliquary, container for holy relics. The collected power, meditated power, coalesced power, congregated power, collected magic, infusion, like magical infusion. That might make sense for the Sanctum of Sanctuary. Oh, there's so many things left. We're probably gonna have to pick this up tomorrow at some point. I don't think I'm gonna get through this tonight. There's a lot going on with it. Downtime activity. What time is it? It's 8 o'clock already. Jesus. All right, let's see if we can finish some of this shit up. Reliquary. Let's go with the benefits of an arcane divine. Mark, sigil. How about empowered sigil? Empowered charm. That's straightforward enough. It's very on the nose. You're literally empowering your character with a charm. Empowered charm. Very on the nose. How about empowered magic? Infusion, maybe empowered infusion. That feels good. I like that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Empowered infusion. That feels roughly mechanical. Yeah, we'll go with that. Empowered infusion. Very good. Reliquary. Empowered infusion. God's willing, we'll think of better things, but for now, that's good. Because all these charms are going to be reliant on the rank of the facility. Again, it says the rank. Here's the level that you can infuse, or of charm that you can gain, which is a universal premise, which should be covered in the downtime. Here we go, magical charms. Yeah, so we can break down the rules of all of these things and then categorize them to give us more information about them. I think that's gonna work. Sanctuary. Let's go with let's see. Charm. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefit of a druid charm. There's a lot of charms that we're handing out. I gotta give you that. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefits of a druidic charm. How about Spirit's Whisper? How about let's see, what do I want to call it? Spirit's Charm. That's too on the nose. Oh, Nature's Blessing. I like that. Cool little title. And so we're probably gonna have to divide this up between charm, downtime dice, and other other random shit. So maybe like the charms are like a basic benefit. It's universal, and then downtime dice is universal. Sanctum, a character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains a number of temporary hit points equal to your character level. How about bolstered no. And we got another benefit, another downtime activity, which is a character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains a charm to cast Word of Recall with this facility as the destination. When used this way, everyone recalled gains the benefits of a heal spell when they arrive. So this would be Homecoming. And the downtime activity for spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains a number of temporary hit points equal to your character level. How about I'm thinking yeah, the word bolster keeps coming up for some stupid reason. We're gonna go with armor, padding, defense. Sanctum, huh? Sanctum. Gird. Bolster again. Reinforce. Buff. Sanctimonious. Fudge. What we got after this? Stables, theater, training area. That's it. Good. Let's see. What do we want to call this? Downtime activity for a character that spends Bastion turn. Downtime activity gains. How about infused vitality? Nope. Inspired vitality. Infused. I think I like infused better. And Homecoming. Good. Then Stables, a character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility gains the benefits of the Animal Friendship spell with animals trained at this facility for a number of Bastion turns equal to the rank of this facility. So that's going to be... familiar scent. I am happy to replace these if someone comes up with something better. That's how we'll go with familiar scent. How about no, familiar presence. Trusted presence. No. Yeah, familiar scent. I like that. And theater. A character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility can participate in a performance to gain inspiration for upcoming adventures. Each participant chooses a role. Compose, conduct, perform. A character that spends a Bastion turn participating in a performance is inspired and gains a number of downtime dice equal to blah blah blah. This should be up here. Is inspired with is inspired by the performance, is inspired by the performance, comma, gain a number of Bastion dice. Yeah, gain a number of Bastion dice equal to the rank of this facility. To spend during your next adventure. Any unused to spend during adventures lasting a number of Bastion turns equal to the rank of this facility. The spend performance gaining a number of Bastion dice to blank. Let's go back up to Gaming Hall. Gaining a number of points to blank. Let's go here. Back down to the Gaming Hall. There, and then back to theater, gaining a number of gaining a number of Bastion dice equal to the rank of the facility to spend. Good. There we go. And we're going to call this theater. Inspired performance. Inspired production. No, performance. Not necessarily performing. Composing, conducting. Composing, writing, conducting, directing, and performing. Inspired. Yeah, inspired production. Inspired production equals, and then training area. Characters that spend a Bastion turn in this facility gains a character boon. The boon that a character can gain is determined by the rank of this facility up to the listed character level. Only one such boon can be active per character at a time. The boon lasts a number of Bastion turns equal to the rank of this facility. And we're going to call this boon, huh? How about training area? I feel like training should be in the title. Boon of preparation, maybe? No, that doesn't feel right because preparation has too much association with spellcasting. What do we say? How about downtime activities? Huh. What do I call this? For the prepared, luck favors the prepared. Luck favor boon ability enhanced. Enhanced training. Training, huh? Let's see. Temporary boost. Knowledge. Temporary knowledge. How about special training? Elite training? Oh, what's a good sounding word here? Specialist training. Preparation, specialized preparation, specialized training, specialization. That's a term I haven't heard since 2nd edition. Specialization equals. There we go. Specialization equals. Cool. Okay, that all works. So let's see. What are the actual thing? How are we breaking these things down? We've got. So let's see. What are the actual? We got. How are we breaking these things down? We've got. The training area has its thing going on. Let's see. This is let's go under downtime dice. How about yeah, downtime dice. Downtime dice is theater and gaming hall. And what, we got a boon. No, charm. Choose a charm. That's going to include meditation chamber, which is choose a charm. And government, no. Library, no. Menagerie, no. Observatory, yes. Reliquary, yes. Sanctuary, yes. Good. And then temporary hit points, word of recall, spell effect, huh. Legend Lord Charm. Okay, Legendary Charm, that qualifies. Charm. No. No, that's not really a charm because it's not a casting. It's a global effect. Global effect. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime to using, so he gains a charm to cast, and it also has an empowerment. So Sanctum has a homecoming charm. And then, what, empowering? empowerments. That's an empowerment. Oh, this is a charm. Charm. Gain a charm. And then empowerments, arcane study, government, menagerie, sanctum, infused vitality, thank you, stables, training area, Bastion turns equal, Bastion turns equal, and temporary hit points last until they're gone. Bastion turns gone. Bastion turns gone. And then persistent. So we have empowerments. We have charms. We have inspiration. There we go. Inspiration. That's how these are classified. Inspiration. Charms. And empowerments. That's not necessary. I mean, that's kind of how these are categorized. These don't have to be the only things that you can be empowered. I mean, these don't have to be the only things. They all fit into these convenient categories, but there could be other there could be other downtime activities, I guess, that you could benefit from. I mean, that's a pretty wide range of them, though. Charms, inspiration, and vitality. I mean, empowerments. Empowerments is such a broad catch-all. Charms is different from empowerment because charm gives you a single-use spell that you can cast at some point, as opposed to being empowered with a spell effect that's already been cast. That's different. Plus, charms don't have durations, but they are replaced. So yeah, okay, there we go. Charms, no duration. One at a time. Inspiration. Can be added to any D20 test. Expire in time. No expiration. Empowerments. Expire in time. Gain a charm. Limit one at a time. Spell level determined by rank of facility. see, can be added to any D20 test. Die is equal to the rank of granting facility. Expires in time. Gain a charm, limit 1 at a time. Spell level determined by rank of the facility. No expiration. Empowerments expire in time. Benefit. Selected benefits determined by arcane preparation. A character that spends a Bastion turn in this facility can study the arcane arts to swap a prepared spell for a new one. To swap a prepared spell for a new one. Of a level you can prepare. New one on your spell list that you can prepare, or add to a wizard's spell book up to a level you can prepare. Up to a level of spell you can prepare. Period. At the end of the Bastion turn, make an Intelligence Arcana check and add a Bastion die equal to the rank of this facility to the D20 test result to change one of your prepared spells or add it to your wizard spellbook. The level of the spell and the corresponding DC is determined by the rank of this facility as limited below. The level of the spell and the corresponding DC is determined by the rank of the facility as listed below. A character cannot choose a spell to prepare this way that exceeds your max spell. That exceeds the maximum level spell you can prepare. Period. If the check fails, a complication occurs. No, we don't cause complications on. If the check fails, the time spent is wasted. Period. Let's do that. Arcane preparation. Grab that. Arcane study. There we go. Let's see. Selected benefits are limited by the rank of facility and level of character. Generally expire in time. Selected benefits. Benefits that can be selected Predetermined benefits can affect any creature, can affect any character, regardless of level. As listed in the downtime activity description. Predetermined benefits can affect any character regardless of level, and generally, these benefits expire in time. Charms in the form of inspiration, charms, empowerments, and inspiration. Okay, so that feels right. No, I don't want to record that. So there's charms. Okay, so there's charms, empowerments, and inspirations. That's generally how it goes. So let's see. Downtime activities. Various facilities offer downtime activities that characters can participate in at the facility various facilities offer downtime activities that characters can choose. While at the facility, as detailed below. A character can participate in one downtime activity per Bastion turn, whether they are on an adventure or not, as long as they either begin or end the Bastion turn within the Bastion, within the facility, within the relevant facility, within the relevant facility, period. A character that does not go on an adventure can participate in 2 downtime activities per Bastion turn if the character remains within the Bastion where the facilities are installed for the duration of the Bastion turn. For the duration of the Bastion turn. A character must either begin or end the Bastion turn at the. Okay, that's redundant. Downtime. Thank you, Tommy Timer. Downtime activities. Generally. Downtime activities are generally one of 4 types. That's horrible language. There is charms, gaining charms, gaining empowerments, gaining inspiration, and overseeing, gaining charms, gaining empowerments, gaining inspiration, overseeing orders. Gaining charms includes library, includes downtime activities at within, what's the language I used? Includes downtime activity at library, meditation chamber, observatory, reliquary, sanctuary, sanctum, example facilities. Let's do it. Let's word it that way. Library, meditation chamber, observatory, reliquary, sanctuary, sanctum. Library, meditation chamber, observatory, reliquary, sanctuary, sanctum. There we go. Gaining charms. Characters, downtime activities that bestow charms. Bestow charm. Empower characters. Gain empowerment. Grant inspiration. Oversee issued orders. There, we'll make it positive. We'll make it a verb instead of an adverb. Bestow charm. Gain empowerment. Bestow charm. No. Grant inspiration. Oversee issued orders. Gain empowerment. The empowerments are arcane study, government, menagerie, sanctum, stables, training area, and then gaining inspiration is gaming hall and theater. Gaming Hall Theater. Overseeing issued orders. As a downtime activity, instead of issuing, when you issue an order to a facility, the character, you can oversee the hirelings carrying out the order. Instead of making a Bastion check, the character makes an ability check with proficiency. Makes an ability check. Makes an ability check. The DM makes an ability check appropriate as deemed appropriate by the DM, including any proficiency bonus, including any proficiency relevant. The character makes an ability check as deemed appropriate by the DM, including any proficiency relevant to the order, and adds the facilities and adds a Bastion die, and adds the facilities Bastion die to the D20 test. If the check fails, a complication occurs as usual. As normal. If a downtime activity is if an order you oversee requires more time to carry out, if an order you are overseeing requires multiple Bastion turns to complete, you must continue using downtime to sustain the order. If you choose to end participating in the activity, you must continue using downtime while sustaining the order. If you choose to end participating, if you choose to end overseeing the order, The Bastion must be issued. The Bastion must. The hirelings make a Bastion check as normal to continue without your oversight. There you go. Easy enough. Very simple. So that's overseen issued orders. Very simple. Grant inspiration. Let's go down to... So that takes care of do it yourself. And we can get rid of the term basic downtime because that doesn't matter anymore. If a downtime activity is an order with a duration exceeding the Bastion turn, you must continue. Let's look at the different orders that we can issue, see if they're relevant. Must remain at the Bastion the entire turn. Empowering must remain at the issue. Maintaining. I don't think we need to have these here. Characters that begin and end a Bastion turn in this facility gains a number of downtime dice. We can get rid of that. We can go to grant inspiration. There we go. Characters that take a downtime activity that grants Bastion dice must spend let's see, characters that when a character takes a downtime activity that grants a number of Bastion dice to use during an upcoming adventure, the size of the die the number of dice gained is equal to the rank of the facility, the number of dice gained, and the die and the type of and the size of die gained is determined by the rank of the facility. Period. Rank die. Number of dice gained. Number of dice and their size. The number of dice gained and their size. The number and type of dice. The number and type of dice gained is determined by the rank of the facility. So, rank, number, and the number and size. It's size is the correct term. And size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. This is probably redundant, but that's why we hire an editor, to make sure we have better language. 4, 5. 1d4, of course, You'll recognize this pattern if you've been around at all. 1d6, 1d8, 1d10, 1d12. You can add one Bastion die to any d20 test you make after the Bastion turn ends, expending the. You can add one Bastion die to any d20 test you make. You can expend one Bastion die and roll it when, and you can expend one Bastion die when you make a d20 test, when you roll a d20 test. Yeah, when you make a d20 test, during a d20, you can expend one Bastion die during a d20 test, rolling the die and adding the number rolled to the results of the test. Test, comma, doing so after you roll, but before you know if you succeed the test or not. If you have any downtime dice remaining when you take, let's see, you can expend one Bastion die during a d20 test, rolling the die and adding the number rolled to the result of the test before you know if the result is a success or failure. If you have any downtime dice remaining when you take this downtime, when you, if you have any inspiration dice, left from downtime activity, if you have any inspiration dice remaining, when you take another downtime activity to gain more inspiration dice. Let's word it this way. When you take another downtime activity to gain inspiration gain inspiration dice again, any that remain from a previous downtime activity are lost, are replaced with the new dice, There is always grant inspiration. Thank you, Timely Timer. Jeez, what time is it? Oof, it's 9 o'clock. We are so close to done, so let's just see if we can squeeze this last little bit out. It looks like bestowing charms is that the last thing? No, we have gain empowerment as well. So let's see if we can just squeeze these out. Magical charms. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefit of the charm. There we go. I think this is going to work out. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains the benefit of a charm. The facility description will indicate which type of charm can be gained. Some facilities bestow a specific charm can be gained, comma, whether it is arcane, divine, or druidic. Arcane, divine, druidic, or a combination of them. The facility description will indicate which type of charm can be bestowed. Whether it is arcane, divine, druidic, or a combination of them. The charm can be any spell from the spell list spell list in the description. The maximum level spell is determined by the rank of the facility up to the listed character level. Only one charm can be active per character at a time. If a facility bestows a specific charm, the character can gain this benefit regardless of your character level, period. There we go. That simplified that. So now we have it set up so that if you can choose from them, you're going to, the rank of the facility is going to limit the level of the spell that you can have, which is also limited by your character level. So if you're only up to 4th level, you can only get a charm of 0 or 1st level, and you have to have a 1st rank facility. 2nd rank facility, characters level 5 to 8, the charm can be up to 3rd level. 9th to 12th level characters in a 3rd rank facility can gain charms up to 5th level. 13th to 16th level characters in a 4th rank facility can gain a charm up to 6th and 7th level. This is to make sure that the spells that you're getting free access to aren't overshooting the level of spell that your character would normally be able to have just because you're a character. So you're basically getting an extra spell up to the level that you would normally be able to gain that spell. And you can only have one charm active at a time. The maximum spell level, only one charm can be active. Only one charm that is bestowed this way can be a character can only have one charm bestowed this way at a time. If a facility bestows a specific charm, the character can gain this benefit regardless of character level, or if they have already received can have only one a character that spends a Bastion turn can gain the benefit regardless of your character level, period, but is still level. A character can benefit. A character can have only one charm. Can have only one bestowed charm at a time. Period. There. That took care of bestowing charms. That was easy. And finally, we have gain empowerment. When a character takes a downtime activity that grants a when a character takes a downtime activity to gain an empowerment. When a character takes a downtime activity to gain an empowerment. Let's look at empowerments. Some facilities provide a specific ability, feature, property, or spell. Property, spell, or magic effect. Some facilities provide a specific ability, feature, property, spell, or magic effect as detailed in the description. Other facilities provide a list of options for a character to choose from. While other facilities provide a list of options for a character to choose from. In both cases, in either circumstance, a character can benefit from multiple empowerments, can benefit from more than one empowerment. In either circumstance, a character can only have one benefit from benefit from each facility. Damn it, how am I going to word this? In either circumstance, a character can benefit from multiple empowerments simultaneously, but cannot gain. If the same empowerment in either circumstance, a character can benefit from multiple empowerments simultaneously, but if the character gains a new empowerment from the same facility, it replaces the previous empowerment. It replaces the previous one. If more than one facility provides a similar benefit, a similar empowerment, and you cannot benefit from the same type of empowerment more than once, even if they are gained from different... No, I'm not going to do it that way. It replaces the previous one, period. Here we go. So then let's go back up to facilities. Creating new facilities, still work in progress. If one facility provides a unique avoid let's see. If a facility provides a downtime activity to gain an empowerment, Now, I was gonna say, like, if you have like two types of training areas, I want to have a word in there like you can't do, like, I can't have like 3 training areas so I can get 3 feats, right? You can only have one of a similar type. So that's how we should probably word it. Availability castle. That's how we should probably word it. When you take another downtime activity to gain inspiration, in either circumstance, the character can... Hey, what's up? Well, hey, Adam. Instead of fixing 5e downtime, why not move to PF2e? That's a crazy question. Why are we working like ancient magic cards? I feel like I need Oracle text because I design Magic the Gathering mechanics for D&D 5e. And the reason why I don't want to play Pathfinder 2e is because I don't like Pathfinder 2e. Some people like it a lot. I like working in the 5e game engine, and I'm specifically, a lot of the design work that I do is specifically converting Magic the Gathering mechanics into the 5e D&D game system. So, but I appreciate the vote of love. I only assume that you say that because you are highly motivated and inspired and love the Pathfinder 2e game engine, and you could probably see ways that what I'm trying to do could be done in Pathfinder. So, appreciate the help. That's not the right word. What is the word I want to use? I appreciate the enthusiasm and the care. So, thanks. Okay, great empowerment. In either circumstance, a character can benefit from multiple empowerments simultaneously, but if the character gains a new empowerment from the same facility, it replaces the previous one. And you cannot benefit from multiple from the same type of empowerment from different facilities. And there we go. And if you gain a similar empowerment from a different facility, it replaces the first. For example, if you have two training areas in your Bastion, you can gain a feat from one, but if you then gain expertise from another, it replaces the feat gained from the other training facility. period. Okay, I think that's going to work. And yeah, you're putting a ton of work into this. I sure am. That's what I do. I've got a stack of books down below. You can check out all the ones that I've done. Here, I'll show you one that I put a lot of work into. Spelljammer Combat and Exploration. Obviously, you're a Pathfinder guy, so you'll never buy this, so that's fine. But this is a 107-page book that redefines the Spelljammer spaceship mechanics. Obviously, there's a Starfinder campaign, but using the Spelljammer motif, we've reimagined combat scaling using the Spelljammer system. This allows ships to operate at the here I'll show you an example of what this book is really all about. Okay, so let's go down a little bit. There we go. So ships, characters operate at the 5-foot scale. Here's the deck of a ship. This ship occupies 50-foot squares. A hammerhead ship is 250 feet long. So at the 50-foot scale, a hammerhead ship occupies a 5x5 space. And a squad or a patrol of 2 hammerhead ships that can both occupy a 10x10 space at the 50-foot scale can both be occupying a single 500-foot scale. And here's a 1 mile scale battle station for comparison. This large square here is 1 mile. Each square is 500 feet. Here's a fleet of star moths versus hammerhead ships that are engaging in battle at the 500-foot scale. That, again, you can see here. You can zoom in to the 500-foot scale, 10x10 grids at the 50-foot scale each, which can then, you can zoom in to one single ship to look at the 5-foot scale. On a virtual tabletop, you can have all 3 of these maps on the same screen active at the same time, shifting gears between different scales of combat depending on whether your characters are currently fighting creatures on the deck of the ship, engaging in melee or close quarter scrimmage combat between ships, or operating at the fleet level. You can break up your character's action economy to not only fight on deck, but to also issue orders to like have a weapon fire at another ship, or to have a fleet or a squad in your fleet to attack other ships or a squadron in the fleet. So we had to then, taking these ideas of scaling mechanics, take all the components of combat in the 5e game engine and then translate them so that they operate at the 50, 500, and 1 mile scale. So we have all the mechanics that you need to be able to shift perspective between the two of them. All the rules about like squeezing through space, having to navigate and turning, how you would navigate if you're at the 500-foot scale, but you're actually doing combat at the 50-foot scale. How do you reconcile that difference in scale and narrative? How can you pace ships so that you can maintain a consistent distance to them to maintain a battle, even though you're both moving, kind of like a TIE fighter chasing an X-Wing. They would basically be, the TIE fighter would be basically pacing the X-Wing so that they can stay at the same relative distance while they are moving. Pursuits involved when one ship is trying to reach escape velocity from another ship. There's grappling mechanics, and since there's such a drastic difference in size between fighter craft and vessels, then you have different rules for grappling at the same scale versus different scale. Like smaller scale ships can only hold onto larger size ships. Normally in D&D, when you grapple something, it doesn't move unless you drag it someplace. But fighter craft are so small they can't drag vessels, so they can grapple onto a ship, but that ship is going to move them instead. So that would be called holding, which is a whole different mechanic. So like to be able to operate between the 500, 5 foot, and 50, like the 550 and 5 foot scale, there's a lot of mechanics and physics that you have to take into account that allows these systems to operate together. And it all has the same scaling hit point system, so that your character at the 5 foot scale, fighter craft at the 50-foot scale, and vessels at the 500-foot scale, and fleets at the 1 mile scale all can utilize the same hit point pool at different scales. And then there's rules about engagement, of like how easily can a fleet of ships attack somebody at the 5 foot scale. So not very easily. So all those, and then there's of course spell casting and amplifying spells so they can affect ships at the 50 and 500 foot scale. So yeah, I do a ton of work and dive super deep into game design to figure out all of these different subsystems so that you can imagine the game in a different way. 5e is very easy to change some of the subsystems mechanics that you're using in your game to have a completely different feeling campaign. I don't know how easy that is in Pathfinder, but I know how easy it is in 5e. And since Magic the Gathering, Eberron, Spelljammer, Planescape are all Wizards of the Coast IPs, I like operating in the 5e game space to be able to build supplements that complement and expand those campaign narratives. Plus, I do all the artwork for my books. I like these little navigation buttons that bounce you from chapter to chapter. Like here's the combat chapter, bloop, takes you to the combat chapter. Here's the Light of Zaraxis, an adventure that was made for the Spelljammer setting that we completely converted to utilize these scaling combat mechanics, so that if you wanted to see a demonstration of how these work, you can just run through Light of Zaraxis, swapping out these options as we provide them. So yeah, I put a lot of love and effort into these books, and they do exactly what I want them to do, and they scratch an itch that, as far as I can tell, no one else has really found inside of the 5e game engine. So I like to innovate. I like to make them work. I like to playtest the hell out of them. I like to run campaigns with these things. Everything that I put in my books are things that I actually use in my own campaigns. So yeah, I'm a little passionate about it. Appreciate it though. Thank you. Yeah. This actually works. This scaling mechanic, I don't know how the hit point system flows in Pathfinder, but there's a high likelihood that this system would work with Pathfinder. At least the base, like rudimentary mechanics of being able to change scale. But there's a lot of subsystems that may or may not jive with Pathfinder. I honestly don't know how versatile the Starfinder system is. Maybe I know that there's like mecha ideas, and I love that Starfinder is getting into Warframes. I think that is just like bread and butter. That makes so much, like chocolate and peanut butter. That makes perfect sense to me. But like I'm using this system here to build mecha. I've got a video on my channel about how to utilize this to build kaiju. Here, I'll show you that real quick. And bloop, here, and Spelljammer, here it is, 5e Spelljammer Mega Kaiju. This is a fairly brief tutorial on creating a 1,500 foot Kraken that's attacking the Rock of Brawl, and you having the fleet of the Rock of Brawl using these Spelljammer mechanics to fight the Mega Kaiju. And if you aren't able to do enough damage to it at the fleet level, because it can use its 400 foot long tentacle to slap down a ship pretty easily. So if the Mega Kaiju is whittling down your crew too much, there's like ballista stations and stuff all throughout the Rock of Brawl that can be used as supporting a barrage. But then you have your fleet, you have your turrets on the Rock of Brawl. But if that's not working, if you're having bad dice or your tactics suck, or if the Kraken just gets lucky, then there is also description of how you can zoom in to the 50 and 5 foot scale. Like the Kraken's eye is like a 30 foot eye. So if your characters then take a flitter ship, land by the eye, or like start firing ballistas into its eye, or like throw a spell into its eye, it gets scared when its eye gets attacked. So that might be all you need to just chase it off. So it has both this grand level at the 500 foot scale where you have a fleet of ships attacking the Mega Kaiju, and then you have the 50 foot scale where you've got fighter craft attacking weak points on the Kaiju. And then if you really need to, you can get down to the 5 foot scale, pull out your glaive, and just stab the eye and pop it so it starts bleeding, and that'll probably freak it the hell out. So like there's a lot of different ways you can generate win conditions when you're utilizing these mechanics. And this is a fun video that kind of shows how those all flow together. And then I've got a whole bunch of side videos here that explain all the different mechanics that I built into the book. But yeah, I go deep. I go real deep into game mechanics when I build stuff, and I love 5e because I love the IPs. So, but you know, that's just me. So, but yeah, that's why I do 5e instead of Pathfinder. No hate on Pathfinder at all. It's just I love 5e. I love the IPs. I've been playing D&D since I was 12, like 37 years ago. I'm in love. It's my game of choice. So someday I'll be done building content for D&D, and then I'll probably start doing stuff for Shadowdark. But for the time being, this is my home, and I love Eberron. It's my homebrew campaign of choice. Magic the Gathering is the Magic system of choice. For those that are interested, here's the color mana spell point variant rule bundles that I created. All my books all have full preview, just like the Spelljammer book did. But this revised 5 color mana spell point variant rules. All these books are silver or better. Some of them are pushing platinum at this point. But this basically breaks down how the MTG color mana system works. White, blue, black, red, green. What different game mechanics, like aspects of reality that are dictated by each color, like divinity and healing, protection, restraint is white. Like black is control, entropy, fear, soul, darkness. Green is like healing, nature, and spirits. So, and then we have the damage types. There's 10 types of magical damage in D&D. And then using the Magic the Gathering cards, each color breaks down. So like acid in the Magic the Gathering cards, acid is always black and green. There's approximately 350 cards that mention lightning in Magic the Gathering, but only 2 of them are not red. So, I mean, obviously lightning is red. Fire, we know classic is red. Psychic damage typically comes across as white, blue, and black. So using the damage type and the aspects of magic, we can do a color configuration. So like my favorite options down here in 3rd level, of course, is Fireball. It's a red spell. It's a 3rd level spell. It costs 3 mana to cast it. 1 point has to be red, and the other 2 can be any color that you want. If you run out of red mana, you can't cast Fireball until you take a rest and convert some of your mana or regain mana to be red. So that's the basic gist of the system. You can narrate it so like if you have red magic, you just cast any spell that you want and describe it as being red magic. But if you want to go deep into like old school D&D where you had to pick out specific spells and restrict yourself Vancian style, this still allows you a full list of spells that you can just choose on the fly, but you have to pay attention to what colors you're using. It's like if you're playing Boros with white and red magic, I could cast Crusader's Mantle, I could cast Daylight, I could cast Dispel Magic, I could cast Fireball, but I can't cast Fly because Fly is blue-green, not white-red. So if I wanted to learn how to fly, I would then take downtime to research this spell to, instead of being blue-green, to instead also be, say, white or red. I could also prepare it on the fly from my spell book and prepare it twice. So like if I could prepare like 7 spells, I could choose like 7 white and red spells, or I could choose like 3 spells that aren't white and red, and then 1 spell is left over that could be white and red. You see? So I can change, whenever I take a short or a long rest, I can change the color of any amount of mana that I have in my pool to be any color that I want. And when I'm preparing spells, I can change the spells that I choose to be prepared in any color that I want. But I'm going to have to spend that preparation slot more than once to get it the color that I want, unless I spend downtime, time, and possibly money to learn the spell in the color that I want. So a really powerful, long-lived character can have a spell book or have the whole prepared spells all in like a single color. It's like all I cast is red magic all the time. My entire pool is red. Every spell that I cast has been reconfigured so that it's red. And so I am an avatar. I am an avatar of red, and so that's the game system. It just depends on what kind of a campaign you're running. Like Ravnica has 2 color mechanics, but like if I'm running Dominaria, I have all 5 colors that are open to me, so I can just pick and choose any spells that I want. But the more colors I choose, the more diluted my mana pool becomes. So I have less spells. I have less red mana, which means I can cast less red spells unless I take a short rest to get some of that white swapped back into red. So, but again, it has a lot of nuances to it, and I've got 6 books out so far that basically deep dive into how different classes can utilize this color mechanic. And if you catch my martial power stream, I've been converting all of the martial classes into a color mana resource system, and I've been updating all of the classes and subclasses to use the 2024 mechanics. So I'll be updating and replacing all these books with 2024 rules. So I'm a really big 5e enthusiast. And of course, the Bastion system that I'm using works with this system, and both the Bastion system and this system works with the Spelljammer system that I built. So you can pick just one of the things that I do to completely change your campaign, or you can choose all the things that I built to just completely redefine what 5e does and how it operates. If you were to dive completely off the cliff into the content that I build, you might actually think it's pretty cool, considering that you're coming from a PF2 perspective that's like hyper-tuned, high optimization options with a lot of precision and like tactical decisions. The options that I provide in these books give you that level of depth using the 5e game engine if you want to. Almost all of it is opt-in rules, but if you use all of them, it completely transforms your game into the blind eternity, like into the Edge of Eternities, which is the most recent card set that D&D came out, that Magic the Gathering just released. But I'm pretty passionate about this stuff. But I successfully completed the downtime activities, so those are all cleared from our plate now. And so I do game design. I do game design like this on Monday nights and Thursday nights, and then Tuesday and Friday lunches. And I do artwork for all the books that I do, because all the art in all my books, it's all me. And I do the artwork for them in the mornings, Monday through Friday in the morning when I wake up, pour some coffee, turn on the computer, fire up Photoshop, and I paint for about an hour and a half or so in the morning before I go into my day job. And then sometimes when I come back from my day job, I'll jump on and I'll do design stream with you guys. So I'm here 9 times per week, and I do playtesting. I DM my own playtest campaigns. We're currently running a mega dungeon using color mana and the martial power system. We started at level 3. We're currently level 9. We're running the mega dungeon until level 11. It's an old school Beckme style dungeon where the only experience points that you get are from treasure that you extract from the dungeon, which is great for a playtesting environment for combat and exploration, because it doesn't matter how many monsters I throw at them, they don't get any experience points for them. But it encourages them to explore, find secret doors, do alchemical stuff, do searches, and looking for ways to like loot corpses to acquire more. Like they just killed a nest of phase spiders, and when they harvest the phase spider, they get a blue gem that will either like hold a point of mana, like a point of blue mana that they can utilize, or like the mother of the den, they peeled out its gem and it has a teleportation gem in it. And if they spend 2 of their own mana, they can then use that as a power stone, kind of like a reusable scroll that requires their own resources. So now they're starting to acquire gems and other tools that broadens their, since every character using the system has a mana pool, has the same type of mana pool, then I can give any character any kind of item and they can all use them. Just to different degrees of effectiveness depending on what kind of character you're playing. So it's real couture design stuff that I don't blame Wizards for never getting into any of this, because it's like an intense level of design, and it takes a lot of play testing and a lot of corrections, and I can't imagine Hasbro authorizing that kind of expenditure of labor and effort on a project when they could just phone in what 5e is. But that is this is how versatile of a game engine 5e is. It's loose enough that you can use a wrench and break off all the parts in the engine real easily, but it's a good enough machine that if they're all bolted together well, the thing runs, and it'll run for fucking ever. So I ran 3 campaigns from level 1 to 20 and multiple vignette campaigns like level 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 11 to 16 over the past 10 years that I've been playing in the 5e game engine. And it works really good. I'm a big fan of it. It's pretty popular. It's really easy to understand, but depending on what tools you decide to use, it can be infinitely deep. I love it. It's my favorite game engine out of D. I've been playing D&D for 37 years. This is my favorite incarnation of it. I loved 3E. 3E was amazing, but it was also a hot mess. So I like how 5E stripped back the simplicity and duplicity of mechanics so that you can use similar mechanics in different ways to change the flavor of your campaign. But that's just me. So. Yep. Right on, man. Well, hey, that's it. So, Adam, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you touching in. And everyone else that's been hanging out, I really appreciate everyone being around. I'm going to go ahead and cut stream. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. We're going to continue working on the Eberron campaign art for the adventure crystals in my bar, and I'll be back at lunchtime tomorrow to start work on the issuing orders. So again, this document is linked down below. It's a read-only document, but everyone is welcome to take a look at it. This is far from its final incarnation. This is just me cleaning up the mechanics, simplifying the process, and finding a better way to structure and order the information so that it flows more smoothly for folks to be able to grok it more quickly. We'll have to add in a bunch of examples, description stuff, and connective tissue and wording and stuff to be able to jump from topic to topic, but that's why we hire an editor, and that's what we do. So that's it for now, guys. I'm out of here. Thanks a lot to everybody who's been checking this stuff out. I'm looking for playtesters in my stuff. We're doing martial powers right now. It's Saturday morning. Anyone that's interested, it's obviously there's a lot of information to absorb, but if you geek out on this sort of stuff, I think the other players that are involved would probably tell you it's worth the ride. And I love DMing this type of stuff. I build these tools because these are the kind of games I want to run. And if I was a player, I would love to have these things available. But since I can't assume any DM will ever run this for me, I got to run my own campaigns so I can enjoy them vicariously through you. So we also have the Mage Tower competitions coming up where we converted the 5e game engine into a sport so that you could play sports ball against each other instead of doing PvP arenas. Instead of killing each other, you can score points like in soccer or rugby. Super fun, very easy to do. You just gotta walk through all the mechanics to make sure that it gets to a point where the rules stand by themselves, so you don't even need to have a DM, that everyone at the table can literally play as long as you got an even number. So yeah, that's it for now. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot.